Testing 1, 2. This is a test. Ah, there we go. So sorry about that. I also forgot to activate my microphone. Yep, that's the one. Perfect. Just checking. Hope I didn't blow out anybody's speakers. J'espère que j'ai pas, y avait pas trop de la petite quand j'ai fait le bruit avec mes. Hey, Yannick, comment ça va? Comment ça va? Tu peux me dire aussi si tu m'entends. Maintenant, hey Tio, how are you? Can you hear me now? Give it a couple of seconds. There's a little bit of a delay. It seems that Videotron's not as I guess. Okay, perfect. Merci Yannick, merveilleux. Tio, how are you? How are you, T? Hey, check it out. Check it out. I picked up 2-3 rolls of 400 3X, the Kodak. So I'm going to put that in my stock over here in my little fridge. So if you need, let me know. Welcome everybody. I wish you all a very, very happy new year. Un très bonne année. Je vous souhaite la santé, l'amour, tout ça. Je t'avoue que ça a commencé un peu difficile. It was a little bit rough this past couple of weeks there with all the good changes. With all the changes that have been going on, but we gotta just pull through it and hey Mark, salut. Hi Lynn. Comment ça va tout le monde? Fait que là, c'est ça, it's a brand new year. I've got a lot of stuff on the table for the new year. J'ai beaucoup de nouvelles choses à ajouter. Vous allez me voir plus souvent, c'est sûr et certain. Puis je m'ai lancé aussi le défi de faire quelques vidéos. Je t'avoue que ça serait pas peut-être, it won't be constant, it won't be frequently, but I am in the process of working up some scripts, scripting some stuff out, doing some outdoor photography. I got myself a little Safari 5D, which is it's a kind of a copy from the GoPro, and I'm going to see if I can't use that on some of my excursions. The podcast, I'm working on my first episode. I know I've been saying it for the past year, but I am working on my first episode. J'espère que le podcast va bientôt commencer. D'ici, je te dirais, là, dans 2-3 jours, je devrais être capable de finir l'épisode pour lancer pour la nouvelle année. I had a chance, I looked at the, although I've found a few new things lately with the last couple of few days there with Facebook, some new things that have been added to the function of the group. J'ai trouvé quelques petites fonctions. Je ne sais pas si vous avez vu, mais j'ai pu programmer un événement en fonction de justement cet épisode ici, en espérant que ça va pouvoir peut-être ramener nos membres pour les avertir en fonction d'un événement. So I found the function within the Facebook group over here where they've added a few extra features. One of them is being able to create events. So I'm going to try to see if I can't create the events well in advance so that everybody's aware of when things are happening, when new episodes are being posted, when new live streams are going to be posted. I didn't really know how the last challenge was going to, how it was going to go. I had thought maybe there would have been a little bit more. Not that I'm not discouraged or anything like that. I did think that there would have been a little bit more photos. I don't know, maybe, but again, it's the holidays and it's been a rough couple of weeks, rough few weeks with the restraints and everything like that. So obviously we couldn't get together with our families and stuff like that. But I did notice that since our last live episode, depuis la dernière diffusion live, ou diffusion en direct, qu'il y a beaucoup d'ajouts qui ont été soumis, il y a beaucoup de photos qui ont été soumises au groupe. Et puis j'ai vu aussi une meilleure façon d'aller chercher ces photos-là en travers le groupe et en travers l'album en même temps. Vous allez voir aussi, j'espère que vous avez déjà vu, j'ai lancé la nouvelle défi pour le mois de janvier. Je verrai peut-être, je vais l'étirer aussi peut-être pour le mois de février parce que euh, c'est quand même un défi ou je te dirais plus un genre de photographie intéressant pour l'hiver. And I've been seeing so much of it since COVID. Um, so we'll talk about that also. I'm going to switch over to our group screen. Okay. And so here, as you can see, we now have an event that I posted for today. So today at 8 o'clock, AJ's event, creating, so I created the event. And if you would go to in the section dans la section des événements, vous allez voir que maintenant, je vais commencer à chaque fois, je vais lancer un nouveau épisode. Je vais créer l'événement puis inviter le groupe au complet. En passant, nous sommes un groupe de 113 membres. J'espère peut-être 3 ou 4 fois cette année. J'ai pas décidé quand. On va voir quand le couvre-feu et tout ça va disparaître parce que j'espère très bien que ça va. C'est temporaire. Mais je vais créer aussi des événements externes où ce que vous allez pouvoir justement me rejoindre à certaines places, puis on fera de la photographie pendant 2-3 heures. Un peu comme que je fais déjà à mon travail. Mais ça va être strictement le groupe qui va être invité. Puis si vous avez des amis ou qui veulent venir avec nous, ils peuvent aussi. Un peu comme qu'est-ce que Fabrizio fait avec son club photo de Rivière-des-Prairies et Montréal-Nord. So I just wanted to show you guys a little bit of this new, you've got, so now I'm going to be actually posting events in the group for us. We now have, as far as members, we have 113 members, so I want to welcome everybody. Je veux justement accueillir tous les nouveaux membres. Aussi, vous allez voir que j'ai sélectionné certains membres qui sont déjà très avancés en photographie. Je les ai invités d'être des experts du groupe. So si jamais vous avez des questions, yeah, sorry, T, I just saw your, yeah, absolutely. I know the holiday photographing the holidays, especially in the I probably didn't think it well through. The subject was very hard to even for me. I'm still going through my images. I haven't been able to go through them all yet. But I just want to mention here that certain members here, I've made them group experts. And if you'll notice here, we have, aside from me, we have 4 other people that I know very well who I nominated as group experts. If you have any ideas or if you want to participate as a group expert in be it answering questions or whatever, please let me know, message me. En passant, comme que je suis pas le seul photographe, je veux dire du groupe, si vous avez des questions, si vous avez des sujets que vous voudrez que je parle là-dessus, utilisez le groupe, surtout si vous voulez, vous avez des idées qu'on pourrait parler en fonction de groupe. Certaines fois, je vais recommencer à faire mes salles de discussion en téléconférence justement sur Facebook. Puis aussi bientôt, je vais commencer à intégrer mon Zoom à faire des tables rondes comme je voulais faire pour mon podcast, mais je vais aussi faire ça en vidéo. So if you guys want to get involved, or if you guys want to participate in as being a group expert in answering anybody's questions from the group, please just let me know. We'll put you in there. Also, don't forget the discussion is, you can post any questions, any topics you would like to be discussed during one of the lives, or if you want me to do specifically a recorded episode, which I'm actually working on a couple specifically for post-processing. Justement, j'ai une conférence pour Club Photo qui s'en vient, il me semble que c'est mercredi soir. Je vais parler de l'impression avec le club de Sorel-Tracy. Évidemment, à cause de le couvre-feu et à cause les restrictions, nous allons faire ça en Zoom. Fait que si jamais vous avez des questions, que ça soit... I mean, la photographie en temps normal, please, soyez libre à partager vos questions ou vos propres commentaires. Justement, on va commencer tout de suite avec le revue des photographies depuis le dernier épisode qui était le 4 décembre. Fait que dans ce temps-là, qu'est-ce que j'ai décidé de faire, vu que il y avait, écoute, puis c'est pas le faute à personne, c'est comme mon oncle Bob il a dit, c'est pas un sujet qui est très, 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 surtout cette année avec la situation de COVID et tout ça. Mais, qu'est-ce que nous allons faire, c'est que on va regarder les photos en fonction de le groupe au complet. OK? Et justement, il faut juste que je me rappelle de ne pas passer sur les deux. Il y a 2 nouveaux photos qui ont été envoyées pour le défi numéro 19, qu'il est animalier hivernal. Je crois que la traduction que j'ai trouvée, c'était plutôt la faune hivernale. Otherwise, winter wildlife. So that'll be the challenge for this, for the month of January. And I might actually extend it into February because, with the cold and with the snow, it's going to bring a lot of animals out for those of you who live in the suburbs. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through the photos rather than using this light box that we see here from Facebook. What I've done is I've already selected the last, or I should say the first photo to be looked at, which happens to be a submission from one of our favorites Italian photographers here in Montreal, Fabrizio. Qu'il est aussi le président du club de... c'est le club de Rivière-des-Prairies, le club de Montréal-Nord. C'est le président. Et puis, je le connais très bien. On fait... quand on peut, on fait de la photographie ensemble aussi. Puis lui est très, très sorteux. So, ici, nous avons quand même un beau photo, une belle photo de rue au centre-ville. And again, Fab, you forgot to put... même à ça, Fab m'a dit qu'il va essayer de nous rejoindre à travers le chat. Il va essayer de se brancher. Il était déjà... je pense qu'il était à un parc à Terrebonne tantôt. Mais il a dit qu'il était supposé de venir nous rejoindre s'il pouvait. But I love, again, and the more and more I've actually gotten back into doing film photography, the more and more I remember more so the quality of the images that we were trying to, that we were kind of stuck with in that era of film, which has brought me literally back to the basics when it comes to exposure. And I have to admit, I'm in the process of just finishing them up for my prints. But as soon as I get them finished up, I did develop my first film on my Leica, which really I was impressed with the fact that my exposures were not absolutely bang on, but they were very close to being very, very close to being bang on. So this is a photo here taken in front of the BMO head office at Place d'Armes. Justement, c'est un très beau. Puis vous voyez comment est-ce que, tu sais, quand même que nous avons pris, tu sais, une personne dans cette photo-là. La personne en tant que telle, c'est pas le sujet principal, c'est pas qui est là, c'est vraiment d'avoir la personne qui est en train de marcher devant. Puis Fab, il a déclenché exactement au moment où ce que la personne était vraiment en ligne avec la colonne. Puis comme j'explique surtout dans beaucoup de mes cours, c'est que la photographie n'a pas besoin d'être nécessairement euh, absolument. Hey Fab, you're on. Nice. All right, fantastic. Um, Fab, if you got, I saw you on the messenger from Facebook, but if you go directly to the YouTube link, you'll be able to actually see the comments from everybody on the actual YouTube channel. And you can do that by going through the Facebook. There's a link there that'll bring you straight to the YouTube channel. C'est ça, fait que Fab, I was just commenting on this image over here, and I love this image. This is a perfect example of street photography. And c'est ça que je disais, c'est que, tu sais, on est tellement programmé depuis les dernières 20 ans avec le numérique que tout doit être bien éclairci, tout doit être bien figé, tout doit être bien net. Mais la photographie, avant tout, ça a toujours été un art. Et puis le photographe va décider à quel point il veut sacrifier le flou de mouvement. Pour moi, la flou de mouvement, c'est pas où le filet de mouvement, ça rapporte plus à la photo encore. So, good job, Fab. Love the shot. Fantastic. I'm going in the right way. I should be going in the right way. Let me just check to see if I'm going in the right way. What's the next one after? That's Fab. Give me a sec. No, I'm going the wrong way. Okay, it's got to go the other way. All right, so let's go this way. So here we are. Fab on YouTube now. Fantastic. Great. I'm just going to... Let's get this. Very good. And we go on to the next. Here's another one from Fab Chinatown. You see, this is where what I'm saying is we're so, you know, God, with all of the conferences I hear people talking about rights and this and that. It's street photography is not arguing about who wants to take a picture, who can take a picture, and this and that. This image here, look at the light in this image. La personne qui est en train de marcher sur le trottoir ici, on ne voit pas c'est qui, on ne sait pas c'est qui, puis c'est pas de savoir qui est là non plus. C'est vraiment... C'est vraiment d'avoir la personne dans le champ de vision de l'appareil photo quand le photographe l'a pris. Exactement comme mon oncle il a commenté dans les commentaires. L'éclairage est tellement bien capturé. Le fond, la partie qui est ici en arrière, c'est pas surexposé au point qu'on a perdu complètement les détails dans les hautes lumières non plus. And the timing is fantastic. I mean, you know, even if Fab would have shot it a second and a half before, a second and a half after, he caught it right at that right sweet spot where, you know, we can really, listen, beautiful shot, you know, and as Uncle said, the sepia tone is great. And this is something actually we're talking, Uncle and I was talking, Fab, are these images that you're shooting from your camera that you're applying these treatments, or is it coming from are these shots from your phone? Fab, you always forget to put a little bit of description in besides just where you shot it, how did you shoot it? Just so the novices can get an idea of what, you know, what you did, what was in your mind when you were shooting it, because I mean they're beautiful shots, they really are. And again, here, regardez cette photo-là. Quand même que, oui, il y a beaucoup de bruit dans cette photo-là. Ça ne l'enlève pas de la photo quand même. OK? Vous voyez que on est tellement programmé par les compagnies d'appareils photo, par les ingénieurs qui ont créé tous que tout doit être lisse, tout doit être... mais il faut comprendre une chose, que le photographe expérimenté, surtout, capture le moment. S'il doit réellement sacrifier une certaine netteté, il va le faire. Il sait très bien que pour réussir la capture de ce moment-là, faut qu'il le fasse. Faut qu'il aille. C'est plus important d'avoir la photo que de le manquer, que pas de l'ignorer, mais de le manquer parce que vous pensez que votre ISO est trop élevé. You have to understand, in digital photography, there's no such thing as grain. There is no grain in digital photography. There is noise. But noise, at worst comes to worst, noise can be corrected. What we had in film photography, the grain that we had, it was a consequence of film. And the consequence of it is that the crystals on the emulsion, to be able to be more sensitive, had to be much larger. And as a matter of fact, I've picked up two Ilford Delta 3200 ISO films for the strict purpose of showing what 32, and that 32 ISO film, if I'm not mistaken, was in the mid, it came out in the mid to late 80s when it came out. It might have come out a bit earlier, but I'm pretty sure it was more towards the mid to late 80s when we had actually had a film that was, and Kodak also had I think it was a Tri-X, I think it was a Tri-X 3200 also, but Uncle Bob could confirm that for us. Just to show you what actual grain means. This, I find, in this image, it just adds more to the image. It not that, you know, it could have been snowing that night or whatever, but it just adds a little something to it. Fantastic shot, Fab. Here we have a shot, again from Fabrizio, with reflections in the eyes. And obviously this, I know this was shot with an iPhone. I just want to just really go quick and see what here Fab wrote. So this one next time. Okay, grain added on purpose. That's right. Okay, fine. Use natural filter. Huile de front on the lens. Oh, was there a fingerprint on the lens? I don't know. Okay, that one you're gonna have to, next time I see you, you'll have to give me how you got that second comment there. Here we have a beautiful image of an eye, and the iris, using an iPhone. I don't know how, Fab, you were able to get so close, but very interesting shot. And for the quality even with the noise, for the quality of the phone itself, it's a very interesting image. I like the reflections. Oh, here we have, this is nice, Bonaventure. Very nice, Fab. And look at how the oil on your forehead. In film, when you can't get rid of the grain, learn to use it to your benefit. That's a fantastic. J'adore cette commentaire-là, mon oncle. Ici, mon oncle, il dit, si vous pouvez pas faire disparaître le grain, utilise-le pour le bénéfice de la photo. Puis c'est ça le job du photographe en tant que tel, c'est que on travaille en dedans des limites de nos équipements, puis on l'utilise à nos avantages. Je t'avoue que si jamais vous passez à mon travail à 10-30, vous me verrez souvent, vous me verrez tout le temps avec mon I've come to love this camera, my Leica 3F, for the simple and sole fact that there's no light meter on it. There's no electronics in it. The camera works every time I crank it, every time I press the shutter. Well, when I properly load the film, that is, of course. And when I show you, and I'm going to do an episode just on that first roll of film that I shot, it probably won't be a live, but it will probably be a recorded version because I'm working on the post processing part of it. But you work within your means of your equipment. Okay, that is the most important thing here. I think Fab has commented on some of. Yes, the iPhone with a macro lens, 200 millimeter. Uncle Bob is a smart man. There you go, Uncle. Et voila. All right, Fab, for your shots, I'm gonna leave your comment open here when we get to your images in case you have anything to add to it. Here we have Bruno. There's a new member. I've known him for a while through a photo club in Valleyfield. Ça, c'est Bruno, nouveau membre, justement. Il était du club de Valleyfield, mais maintenant, je crois qu'il a changé à un autre club. Très bon photographe. Il est un de nos experts du groupe aussi. Sorry, Bruno, that I know Bruno from one of the photo clubs on the west, not the west part of the island, but on the west side of the island, Valleyfield, who now I think he's with Mercier or he's with another photo club, but he has a very, very sharp eye. He's been doing photography for a while now. And when I saw this image, I love the detail. I mean, the contrast between all of the roping and the chains and the sails compared to le fond, le ciel, le lac, l'eau. Je trouve que c'est bien représenté ici. Il y a un peu de mouvement même. Quand on regarde la direction que toutes s'en vont vers, toutes les cordes, all the ropes, that mast, everything points towards, the shore at the other end of, obviously I think this is either a lake or it could be a fleuve, la fleuve Saint-Laurent. But I love it. This shot, the boat, the sails, the mast, everything jumps out at me. I don't know how you guys feel about it. Hey, see, fantastic. Don't worry about it. I love you. Take care. We'll see you soon. Don't forget, we got to develop. We got film to develop together. So we'll get together. Well, when we can, we'll get together. Have a good evening. Have a good weekend. Ciao. On to our next image. Good job, Bruno. Fantastic job. Here's another one from Bruno. I love this shot. Really, honest to God, this, and I believe this is, c'est un chouette lapon at Île Saint-Bernard. And I believe, is this the chouette that everybody's talking about that hasn't visited in our area in a long, long time? But just looking at this image, taken portrait is a good composition. I lost you there, Fab. Sorry. But here, Bruno, he shot at 400 ISO on at 600 millimeter f10, 1/500th of a second at minus 15 degrees. Fantastic. But the image itself, the depth of field at the f10, I mean, and this is at 600 millimeters. So at f10, the depth of field is nowhere near what you would think it would be at a 50 millimeter or at the 24 millimeter range. The 600 millimeter lens, it compresses so much en utilisant, puis si je me rappelle bien, Bruno, c'est un 150-600. Je sais pas si c'est un segment au Tamron, mais la compression que l'objectif fait à 600 mm, c'est que ton f10, tu en as peut-être un profondeur de champ peut-être de 12 à 18 pouces. Fait que vraiment là, he really came out, and f10 is probably the sharpest range of apertures for that lens. But absolutely fantastic. As a matter of fact, come in February, I think I scheduled something for Saint Bernard, Île Saint Bernard. Si jamais tu sais, ben, malgré qu'on pourrait peut-être faire quelque chose en février-mars, ça serait quelque chose à penser, peut-être faire une excursion si on peut, si la ville rouvre un peu plus d'ici ce temps-là. But Bruno, good shot here. Love that shot. Here's Fab, another Fab. And this is if I'm not, that is Fab right there. That's a self-portrait. Fab, you can let us know if this is, obviously this is in Montreal. I think, is that the PVM, the new building that has it's a whole floor that's open onto Montreal. I love the black and white treatment. Le post-traitement du noir et blanc, c'est vraiment bien réussi. Puis l'effet qu'il est en silhouette aussi, ça donne un peu de un petite chose de plus encore. Je trouve pour cette photo là. Fantastique. You got 4 hearts and you got 3 likes and you got a heart there. I see. What is with these? I gotta see what these people over here are. Where this is coming from. I can do that, and I can do this. I just noticed there was a couple of things in the chat there. I don't know where. Okay, on to go. Shot from the hip. Very fantastic shot. Was this shot from your hip? C'est ça, Place Ville-Marie. Merveilleux. Now, obviously, it's closed. But shot from the hip, were you using your digital camera on this one? Was this the Olympus you had? Great shot. Love it. Here we have another one. Beautiful using this is light painting. And it's okay. Fab, keep going. Don't worry. Il n'y a pas de problème là. So this one here was on Saint Angèle. Shot against mirrors. Nice job for that shot. This one over here is a... ça, c'est du peinture avec la lumière. Puis Fab, tu pourrais nous le dire, ça c'était fait avec des... c'est avec un Canon. À part de ça. Wow. Ça ici, when you shot this... did you use the stainless steel that you lit on fire to get all of these little flares in it? Just as a question, I haven't tried that yet. Something that I'd like to try in one of my night photography excursions, and maybe even do something on light painting itself. But this is a fantastic. And notice this is a long exposure. C'est une longue exposition quand même qu'on voit son modèle, la partie de son modèle qui est fixe, ses pieds, évidemment, tandis que le reste de son sujet est en mouvement. This is fantastic. Good job. Good job. This is a real great example of what time does to light. Oh God, here we go. And here, so Fab included a few shots of me. I don't know if you guys have looked at it. Je sais pas si vous avez déjà regardé là depuis. 2 shots, one in Quebec and the other in Montreal. Are you talking about the light? Really? I thought this was shot in Montreal. Okay, fantastic though. So this is a multiple exposure. Puis ça, you did this a super impression, c'est ça exactement. It's a superimposition. So here we got a shot of me giving a conference. And if I'm not mistaken, this was with the RDP Club. There you go. I have no idea what I was saying there. We've got another shot of me again. I love these shots just because I never get pictures of me when I'm doing these kinds of events unless somebody thinks about doing it and sending it to me. And there's Fabrizio right there. Thank you very much. I really appreciate these images, Fab. Always. Here's a beautiful, beautiful shot again from Fab. Photo de nuit. Justement, une longue exposition. pour aller chercher le traîner des lumières, des autos. Fantastique. The crop is a little bit, I like it's a little bit off tilt a bit, and it gives a little bit of dynamic. It makes the photo itself a little bit more dynamic. But as far as the exposure goes, fantastic. It would be nice to know what ISO you used, and what aperture you use, what shutter speed, just to give a better idea of what we look for in these types of shots, and what we will, because technically the shot itself is very clear, it's very sharp, it's crisp. It's really the fact that we erase the car. L'idée ici dans ces photographes-là, puis justement, je vous montre exactement comment est-ce qu'on fait ça quand je fais ma sortie pour Gosselin sur la photo de nuit. Ça, c'est... En temps réel, qu'est-ce que je fais? C'est que je fais je divise le 3 heures en genre à peu près 1h30, 1h30. 1h30 où on fait de l'affugement de mouvement en utilisant des gros ISO. Et l'autre partie, ben, plus vers la fin, la partie vers la fin, c'est où ce que j'utilise, je vous montre comment faire avec un trépied, faire la longue exposition et justement d'effacer les autos, les autobus, que ça soit avec des longues... Puis des longues expositions, c'est pas plus que 10 secondes, 15 secondes. In this particular case here, it's probably not an exposure more than about 10 or 15 seconds. Excuse me, to be able to get this type of light trail that we see here. Oh, this is beautiful. This for me, this is my type of night photography. A little bit of street photography, a little bit of night photography. It's really, and this would have been, it would be nice to know too, was this handheld? Because I mean, this type of shot, it would have been easy enough to maybe do it handheld. Quand on regarde le filet de mouvement des gens qui marchent sur le trottoir, c'est peut-être même peut-être une quinzième de seconde ou un dixième de seconde. Ça dépend à quel point, à quelle vitesse que les autres ils bougeaient. But I love the crop. I love the whole, l'espace. Il est bien représenté dans cette photo-là. Fantastic, Fab. Moi, I love rainy nights. And ça, c'est l'autre chose aussi, c'est de pas... j'ai pas peur que j'aille l'eau qui tombe, un peu d'eau qui tombe sur mon appareil photo. C'est sûr et certain, je me mettrai pas en dessous d'un gouttière qui coule à pleine force. De l'eau, mais un peu de pluie, là. Regarde comment est-ce que... Regarde les réflexions des éclairages, de la lumière ambiante sur le trottoir, sur la rue, comment est-ce que ça... And Fab, was this shot, did you shoot this in Terrebonne or did you shoot this in RDP? Just a quick oh, here's a beautiful shot. I just love the contrasts here. And look at, même la partie, quand on la regarde ici, là, en haut, on a quand même un certain qualité de détail dans le brick. C'est pas surexposé au point où ce que, quand même, qu'il y aurait, la rayon de lumière est vraiment sur le modèle, sur l'arrière de la tête de modèle, puis vraiment sur le mur. Mais la façon qu'il a exposé cette photo-là, il a quand même gardé assez d'informations dans ces hautes lumières-là pour pas que ça soit juste tout blanc. Puis c'est vraiment le jeu entre l'éclairage puis le jeu entre l'ombrage à droite du mur et le manteau qui fait que ça parle tellement à cette photo-là. Vraiment, vraiment bien fait. Oh, black and white. I mean, listen, this one here is from a new member who's been with us a few months now, I think now, if I'm not mistaken, Denis. I love the sharpness. I love the textures. I love c'est vraiment, and the dark versus the light. C'est vraiment, c'est pas exposé à un point où ce qu'on voit aucun détail sur les murs de l'allée ou même sur la ruelle ici. Mais c'est vraiment bien réussi, fantastique, Denis. Just I love these types of shots. And black and white, it look at how black it screams the person who's at the end of the alley. Um, it's a fantastic shot. I love this shot. This shot here on a matte paper, I think it would just even add even more to it. Really. Here we have another one from Fabrizio. This here, I believe, this was in the park he brought me to in Terrebonne, and he can check it, or he can confirm it for me in the chat. But it's a beautiful shot. I mean, listen, there's enough color, there's enough sky. It's really well exposed. The snow's white. Just checking to see what here we got. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Hey, see, you're still with us. Yeah, this was in Terrebonne. Fantastic. It's a beautiful park. It's a fantastic park. Centre de la Nature, je pense, si je me rappelle bien. Love the light. You can see the light coming through the trees. You know, this is probably just after a day of when they had a little bit of snow. It's perspective. The perspective is really well. It's a very, very wide shot. That's what's interesting about it too, I find. We have some more here of the path that Fab was walking. Great shot. And it kind of gives you the way that he shot it. I don't know if this was a panoramic. That's it, écologique coulé. You can confirm whether this was a panoramic because the way that we kind of see the form of the trees. You've got a path going this way. You've got the main path, which is in front of you here. But you also, in the clearing, you have two other clearings that bring you further into the forest in a different direction. Here we go. Fab's taking a detail of it. You know, he's zoning in on a particular detail within the forest, which makes a very interesting. You know, when you look at from this to, or you know, from these shots over here, this one, and then you go straight into a single principal tree. It you know, and I love the framing with the white. It's giving me myself. It's giving me a lot of ideas for the way that I'm printing, and I'm making. We're gonna get into that later on this month. Plus tard cette mois-ci, là, je vais faire un épisode sur certaines idées que j'ai avec l'impression. Mais surtout, vous allez voir, ça va. En tout cas, c'est quelque chose qui s'en vient. Fab, beautiful panoramic shots here. The trail. Now, another question here would be, or I would ask you, is were you shooting at eye level or were you lower to the ground when you shot this? It's a beautiful park, beautiful forest. I remember the just scratched myself. Hold on just a second. Je viens de graffiner puis je suis en train de saigner. A little bit, maybe just a little bit overexposed, but that might also be the post-processing that's done it too. Or it could have been, well, mind you, if it's a panoramic, it could be the difference in exposures between the images. Fab. This is a card. This is I'm not recognizing who Santa Claus was in this one, but it's happy Merry Christmas to you too. I think that was a message to all of us. Je crois que c'était plutôt un message à tout le monde. Mom loved it, as you can see in the comments. Here we have, ça c'est un montage de Fabrizio. Vraiment. Puis j'aimerais savoir, Fab, is that a boule de Noël? I like the, or is that, is that a crystal? Is that one of those crystal balls? I have one somewhere hidden here. I don't know what I've done with it. It's somewhere here. I got to find it and see what I can do. But interesting little message of time travel there. It actually this one actually makes me think a lot of Doctor Who. Here we have Fab 1 point. Now, this is, I mean, minimalist is minimalist and minimalist. It's not, the other one wasn't a montage. So was that a crystal ball? This one here? Was this one of those crystal balls you were shooting 360 with, or a light bulb? Oh, there you go. C'est très intéressant. C'est une ampoule qui a photographié, puis ça l'a donné comme genre, comme qu'est-ce que... Annick en a un aussi, une boule de cristal. Très intéressant à faire la photographie avec. So here we have a speck. I don't know if it's a bubble. This is the, okay, so this was exactement ça, c'était son thème pour son club de photo qui était minimaliste. Oh, this is beautiful. Look at le coquillage, and we have, well, this is what we call this photograph we call a low key. Low key in the sense that the majority of the image is black, and it's the light that's on the subject that brings the subject to life. Fantastic. Base taken off, okay, of the light bulb, and you said shower door. But I love and the fact that actually the photo itself is so black, we just à peine on voit la limite, la ligne. Oui, AJ, toi, AJ, tu déjà utilisé la tienne. Moi, j'ai pas utilisé depuis, je l'ai. Faut que je l'utilise. Another coquillage, another shell here, another conch shell. Beautiful. I love the lighting might just be a little bit harsh on the left, in the sense that you'll notice that a lot of the light from the conch shell is reflecting a little bit onto the back, which is the actually the surface, because you can see a little bit of that light there, but still fantastic shot. Patinoire light and light from the patio. Here we have Fabrizio again. Fab, you really actively shooting. Fantastic. I love it. This is really good. And ça donne des idées à les autres aussi, qu'est-ce qu'ils peuvent faire aussi comme photographie. Ça prend pas du temps du tout pour même déclencher un photo par jour. J'essaye le plus possible, même chez nous au travail, d'être capable de prendre une trentaine de secondes. Même aujourd'hui, justement, j'ai une de mes collègues qui m'ont donné une pellicule pour... c'est parce que la pellicule n'était pas finie, fait que c'est moi qui ai fini, il a terminé son pellicule pour que je puisse le développer pour elle cette semaine. Parce qu'elle avait plus d'idée quoi faire avec. Fait que I walked around the store. I took 3 shots just to finish off the film, and that's it. But this, I like the little bubbles, and this is fantastic. Oh, beautiful shot here of just texture, just shapes. That, you know, it looks like a mix of paisleys when you look at this shot. It's just so dynamic. It's moving. It's fantastic idea here, Fab. As something as simple as cardboard boxes, aussi simple que des boîtes en carton. Regardez qu'est-ce que ça donne. On pourrait dire presque c'est un clôture, c'est-tu des arbres, je sais pas, you know what I mean? Things that we don't necessarily think about looking at on a day-to-day basis. Just look at how we can play with the light, and it's not even the fact that it's, you know, yeah, c'est un peu, tu sais, c'est un peu grungy looking. Comment est-ce qu'on dit ça? Comment je pourrais dire ça? Cru, rude, rigoureux. Mais regarde les textures du carton qui est coupé. Regardez, tu sais, oui, il y a du bruit, but le bruit en tant que tel, tu sais, ça t'empêche pas. Tu sais, comme mon oncle Bob il a dit, and again, comme mon oncle Bob il a dit plus tôt, puis c'était la vie de l'époque du pellicule, c'est que quand tu avais trop de grains, puis dans notre cas à nous, quand tu as trop de bruit, ben, travaille avec. Utilise-le pour que ça ramène, ça l'amène plus à la photo. C'est ça quand on parle d'une histoire, de conter une histoire avec un photographe. Une photographie, c'est que you have to, your photo has to talk somehow of a story. You know, here we have the concept. We have the smoothness of the boxes folded on the edges, where it automatically comes out to be that rough. When you see the individual line, not the lines, but the individual layers of the box where you have the flaps, right? It's just it's you know, grain doesn't, and it's not, again, it's not, digital photography has no grain. It's noise, but having that noise, there are ways of working with that noise. There's just as there's a way of working with a grainy film, and I cannot wait to, you know, really get my hands on my 3200 ISO and see what kind of grain that really brings out. Here we have Fabrizio. My God, it's fantastic. I cannot get over how much looks like Kodachrome. There you go. Kodachrome, pour ceux qui savent pas c'est quoi, surtout probablement certaines d'entre vous l'avez déjà entendu du Kodachrome. Kodachrome, c'est un pellicule qui a été discontinué en 2009 de Kodak à cause de la processus chimique. C'était pas le meilleur process chimique pour l'environnement. C'était pas nécessairement biodégradable. Fait qu'ils ont discontinué en 2009 à cause des lois sur la nature et tout ça. Et puis, on a perdu quand même. C'était un pellicule qui était très, très, très... pas relancé, mais qui était très connu pour la plupart des photographes, surtout photojournalistes. And Uncle Bob, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but photojournalistes, photographes de rue, ils l'ont utilisé beaucoup. Puis Kodachrome, c'était un positif, c'était pas un pellicule négatif, si je me rappelle bien. But then, again, Uncle Bob, you can confirm that for me. I wish I remembered what the Kodachrome, I never had that chance of working with it, because à l'école, quand moi j'allais à l'école, c'était plutôt du noir et blanc qu'on utilisait. C'était peu, on faisait peu de photographie couleur en pellicule. And now I'm doing more and more of it now because I want to process it myself. Here's a beautiful, and this is a perfect example of positive and negative space. When we talk about black and white, this shot is black and white. And even though the white is exposed, is overexposed, where there's absolutely no detail, all you see here is light. This is fantastic. I love this shot. Really. Yeah, Kodachrome le pellicule Kodachrome, c'était spécialement aussi utilisé par le Revue Time Life de National Geographic. Chrome is positive. That's what yeah, okay. But I love this shot. I love the perspective. I love the shapes. Very, very nicely done. Fab. as always. Oui, Christophe, Monsieur Varnier, is a new student of mine through Gosselin, who's been just getting into photography. Il vient de commencer un peu en photographie. Et puis, fantastique. Écoute, ça fait, je pense, un mois ou deux qui est membre avec nous dans notre groupe. Mais honnêtement, là, c'est vraiment, Monsieur Varnier, la composition, c'est très bien réussi. Il est balancé, il est à niveau. Vous avez la tour et le grue opposés, les arbres, puis les lignes hydro sur le côté gauche. Vous auriez pu peut-être juste sous-exposer un peu plus le ciel, puis par après, rajuster. Mais je sais très bien, si je me rappelle bien, quand on s'est parlé, la dernière fois qu'on s'est parlé, vous n'avez pas de logiciel encore pour faire le post-traitement. Mais en temps réel, quand même, fine job, magnificent job pour qu'est-ce que vous avez présenté ici. Vraiment, vous êtes en train de vraiment améliorer aussi. Comme je vous dis, c'est un peu surexposé en fonction du ciel, parce qu'on aurait pu aller chercher un peu plus de détails dans ces coins ici. Ça l'aurait aussi assombré l'avant-plan, puis c'est pour ça que normalement, ça prendrait un certain ajustement par après pour ramener justement comme que vous voyez ici. Mais vous n'avez pas nécessairement perdu trop d'informations dans la glace qui est sur la petite rivière ici. Vraiment bien fait, bien réussi. Fantastic, good job. Oops, it's not. Here we go. Fab. What can I say? Symmetry. The way that you crop the eggs, fantastic shot. Exposure, we can still see texture in the eggs. They're not overexposed, they're not blasted. I mean, there are some parts that might be just a little bit, but other than that, we can see all the detail in the egg crate. We can see all the detail on the surface of the eggs. Fantastic shot. Oh, fab. Again, another one. How is it I can tell exactly all of your shots? I mean, come on. Your style is just, it's so you. Again, a beautiful shot here. Look at how, regarde comment est-ce que l'éclairage sur le roche, dans le milieu de l'allée. Now, again, Fab, tell me this is all one shot, or is this also a montage? I got a feeling it might be. We'll wait for Fab to send us a message through Messenger. But I love the colors. The reflections are really well captured in this. The boulder, the texture on the boulder is really well. So it's a rockin' away. There you go. So that's the title of the image. Fantastic shot again. Great. This is rather interesting. This one was obviously post-treatment. OK. À superimposition aussi. Parfait. Ça, c'était pour le rush. Fait que le rush, il était ajouté par après. Ici, we have a subject walking on the beach, shot in silhouette, and justement, here he used a colorization to make this image just that much more, a little bit pushed farther than I would have expected it to be, but still an interesting shot. Very interesting shot. Oh my God, here we go. Yeah, that's me again. This was with, si je me rappelle bien, ça c'est avec le groupe de Montréal Nord, right, Fab? Coucher de soleil with a drink. Okay, so, all right. That explains a little bit of the blue and the yellow. Here's a beautiful silhouette shot. Fantastic silhouette shot. Now, here I would ask, did you apply the textured background, or was it shot on that textured background? So yes, that would be you added the textured background afterwards. This actually reminds me of those photos we'd see from the 60s, early 70s with the protests. Fantastic shot though. I love the quality of the noise and the quality of the texture in that background with that silhouette of the raised arm. Really well done. You might be hearing my family's just getting in. Here we have some multiple exposures from Fab. And this was shot, which club was this with, Fab? RDP or Montreal North? Another beautiful, beautiful winter scene here. Beautiful shot. I love that little quality that you used, the noise in the image. It gives a little bit of texture to the sky, gives a bit of texture to the snow. It adds a little bit of more depth. Looks like infrared. Which one? See, this one or this one? RDP. Fantastic shots, beautiful shots, really. This one actually, this would make a nice Christmas card, I think. Île de la Visitation. Mark Elary. Hey man, what was this? Oh, was this with the when you shot the portraits with the RDP club? So this was a Screaming, or the Scream, le Cri. You shot this one at 1/160th f8 ISO 100 et mode d'une minute. Mode d'une minute en Photoshop. Ah, ok. Modifié en Photoshop. Ok, je comprends. Great detail. Fantastic shot. I still might have turned you a little bit more towards so that we'd see your other eye. But other than that, I mean, the exposure is really well shot. The expression, really, really nice. The detail in the skin, in your hair, fantastic shot. Really, really nice. Even if you would have added a second light on the back, and just en contre-jour, voir si tu aurais pu te séparer un peu plus du fond. And when I say that, I mean put the light on your left side, point it towards you, not towards the background, just to give a little bit more separation from the background, and you would not have lost the back of your head here, because that light would have separated you from that black background. But other than that, fantastic shot there, Mark. Good job. Santé. This is bonne année. And we wish you santé too, Fab. Hey, T. Here we got one from T. Dark sky, nice. Aruba. And this is what I mean, the black and white. This is what I love about black and white. And when we talk about black and white, the zone system. I mean, look at the dark. Look at the sky. You know, even though it's a blue sky, it's not blasted. It's not overexposed. You really see the depth in the clouds in this image. You see all the footprints in the sand, and you have those two people that are just that couple walking all alone by themselves along the sand. It's fantastic shot, see. And it's not because you're my uncle and my mentor, but it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful shot. I will say one thing. See, you got a speck of dust on your sensor. I'm gonna have to come and clean your sensor. But other than that, they're a fantastic shot there. Hey there. I have a little visitor here on my left, over my left shoulder here. Here she is. She just got home. We have another shot here from Uncle Bob. Reflections in a window dressing. Beautiful shot. I just love the contrasts. I mean, black and white. C'est tellement beau. C'est tellement, ça parle. Ça décrit le moment. I know I saw actor. I love the dolls. I mean, through all of that, you could still see the people who are looking on to. That was my little one, Dakota. You see the onlookers in the street looking into it's into the window dressing. It's really, really, really nice. It's not too busy. It's what can I say? What can I say? It's a beautiful night shot over here from Fab. Night shots because you like them, or just because that's the best time for you to go out and shoot? This one is Terrebonne, if I'm not mistaken, too. Including people looking in makes it good, yeah. Including people, absolutely. Having people in a shot brings more to the whole story of the image. Having it. Oh, sorry, go back one. So here, having the people in the reflection of that in itself, because you can actually see not the expressions themselves, but you can actually see the people looking at the dolls. So this one here is Saint Eustache. You were on the floor, wet floor. Fantastic shot again. Beautiful shot. I love night. I love the city lights. Depending on quelle exposition quand je parle d'exposition, je parle plutôt de l'obturateur, la vitesse d'obturation. Ça ajoute tellement aussi sur la lumière aussi. Plus que tu as une longue exposition, plus que ta lumière va devenir plus doux. Puis ça serait pas aussi éclatant. Ça va surexposer, oui, mais ça serait plus doux en fonction d'éclairage. Un rue vide, Fabrizio. An empty street. Here's another evening street on a tripod, low on a tripod. Nice. And just look at, even the whatchamacallit, the lighting, the strands of light, the string of lights on the street. It just brings us all the way down into le point de fuite dans le fond du rue. C'est vraiment, ouais, absolument. Encore Saint-Eustache. This one, Fab, one thing is, it's just a little lopsided. When I look at it, the horizon over here, I don't know if that's the effect you wanted to give it, but just a little bit lopsided. I don't know if straightening it out would change much of the image itself, but still. On a lonely street. Here we go. I'm assuming these were shot with your iPhone, or I should say with your mobile phone as a panoramic, or was it a panoramic shot with your G12? This one here, see the lonely street? I would say, yeah, it does. Doesn't it pull your eye? And so does this one too. Perspective, this one also I find that the eye travels very well in this image. I love the colors on the blue and all of the different rooftops and the signs on the lamps. Okay, done on purpose. There you go. We've got some more street photography here. Panoramic on the iPhone. When you look at the images in themselves from the phones, I mean they are rather, I mean, when it's not a camera, it's not a sensor the size of a mirrorless camera, be it a micro four thirds or an APS-C or a full frame, but for the quality and for the size and the technology of the phone, the cameras are impressive. They are. I'll never say that they're not. For what they are impressive. It's people have a tendency of trying to push the envelope with the phones to try to produce the exact same things you would produce with a much larger sensor, with a much larger camera. That's where I have a problem with, for what the iPhone and for what the Android phones produce on screen, they're fantastic. When you start to get more artistic, where you need to have that control on exposure, having the fact that there's no diaphragm and there's no aperture and there's no shutter, mechanical shutter on a phone, still and look at Nikon with the Z9, they've removed that mechanical shutter completely, and they only have an electronic shutter. Now they're saying that because the electronic shutter is so fast, that's what made them remove the mechanical shutter. But I still have to work with one to see really what differences it makes. Here we have some more images, panoramic images in Saint Eustache, or was this Terrebonne Fab? Although I look at it really quickly and it looks just a little bit soft. I don't know if that's the treatment, the post-processing you did on it. Mind you, I'm also looking at it on a 4K screen. It could be that too. Fab's little friend. Fantastic shots here. You can see all the detail in the fur, in the whiskers, in the eye, the ears. Johan, it's been a while since depuis qu'on s'est vu. Fantastic. I don't know how the image, if it would have been a little bit more interesting si vous auriez été un peu plus loin, si vous auriez reculé un peu plus. Parce que, tu sais, il y a beaucoup de choses, tu sais, c'est très, ici, là, avec l'arbre qui est coupé, puis je sais pas si le placement, votre placement, je veux dire, aurait pu changer un peu plus, puis aller chercher peut-être un peu plus l'escalier ici. L'exposition en tant que telle, elle est bonne. T'as assez de détails dans le sol pour la neige. Puis le ciel, évidemment, le ciel, c'est un ciel brumâtre. Here we have, this is, what's it, the botanical garden, the Chinese gardens, at the botanical gardens. I didn't realize it was open during the winter. Je savais pas qu'il était ouvert l'hiver. Ici, tu aurais pu peut-être surexposer encore un peu plus, juste pour que ta neige soit pas aussi bleue qu'il est. Oh, this is one from Johan that he submitted. We'll talk about. I'm gonna leave this one for next month because this is justement Johan l'avait soumis à l'album du Défi 19 qui était justement la faune hivernale. We have another beautiful landscape here. I believe, aren't these cherry trees? Or not cherry trees, but cherry blossom in the winter. And still again here, maybe it's just a little too underexposed as far as the ground is. It could use a little bit more light on the ground. Fabrizio, alternate creations from the inside. This one here, is this, that's not the Basilica. No, this is Marie Reine du Monde. À Montréal, ça, je pense, no? Because that looks like the altar that we see over here. But I love the, and it looks like a long exposure too. Fabrizio. Oh my God. Yeah, here we go. Here, the exposure is a little so-so, eh? Just so you know, Fab, my face. Look at my face. It's a little bit, you know what I mean? Here we go. Oh, this, I have to admit, I love this shot. It's a, I'm assuming this is also this is an iPhone shot. I can't remember when you shot this. Mind you, I had a lot less hair and I had a lot less a faccia brutta. But still, I appreciate the shot there, Fab. Here we have Mark shooting in the, if I'm not mistaken, Mark shot these in a snowstorm. Just look at that. And this was, I believe, he had this under light painting, or one of the images was light painting, I believe. Could this have been a shot with Mark? Are you still there, Mark? Chime in here if you can there. Was this one of your, I think this was one of you, c'était pas une sortie que tu avais faite avec Fabrizio? Here we go. Here's some more light painting. I like the swish that you did with the la lampadaire. C'est vraiment bien fait. Ma I don't know. I think the other one works better. I think, okay, so that's the lamp during the day, but I still think this one works much better. But then again, I'm just another photographer. I'm not, you know what I mean? My way's not the way. You know that very well. Now this one, okay, so this one I believe also was an image that was submitted by Mark. Oh no, this was submitted yesterday, so it was before I created the album today. That's right. So here we go. And this one is well exposed, dans le sens que we still see the actual snow crystals. We see the texture. On voit la texture dans la neige. On voit vraiment bien la patte du chat. Puis quand même, la neige est blanche. Lynn, first picture ICM. First picture ICM. ICM. Okay, I got a little, me and abbreviations, ICM. Lynn is going to clarify that one for me. But this is a great shot. I love this shot. A 1/400 of a second. F4. Obviously. ISO 50. I'm just going to say one thing, Mark. 50 is not a native ISO to your camera. It's a simulated ISO. You might have gotten a little bit better at 100 ISO. Oh, a little pigeon walking in the sand. And I love the way, see, that you exposed it where the shadow blends into the colors of the head of the bird and the body feathers of the bird under the wings. Really nice. And this was, I mean, obviously this was being at the right spot at the right time, because you can actually see that he's looking towards this little crevice in the sand here. Really well done. Nice shot. The detail is really, really nice. Fab's got 4 more messages here. What do we got here? Oh, brother. You comedian, you. Footprints in the sand. This is beautiful. Oh, wait a minute. ICM, what? In camera movement. Oh, okay. Thank you, Fab. Now I get it. I'm a little slow sometimes. You know that. But I love this. This is like that photo. What's that photo that I've seen it on the internet a few times. I've seen it. Usually we see it at church, walking in. I can't remember. It's got to do with, I think, one set of footprints. Christ is carrying you on his. This is a beautiful shot. And I mean, listen, you know, it's sand. You have to overexpose this to be able to get the proper color of the sand. Beautiful shot. And this is mine. So there we go. And I believe that is that it? Those were the last ones. That's it. Actually, it's that. Now I'm going back to the very beginning of the album. But fantastic, guys. I just want you all to know you did a fantastic job on all of the images. Mark told me to write it means in camera movement. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Fabrizio. Merci, Yannick, pour ta participation. Thank you, Yann, Monsieur Warnier. Tio, again, thank you very much for your participation too. I wish you all a very happy, safe, and healthy new year. Je vous souhaite tous une bonne année, santé, amour, tout qu'est-ce que vous désirez. Je t'avoue qu'il va y avoir certains nouveaux événements, quand je parle d'événements, je parle de différentes choses que je vais présenter en fonction de soit vidéo, mais vous allez me voir plus souvent soit en live ou en YouTube. Puis bientôt, comme je te dis, là, je suis en train de finaliser ma première épisode pour l'année sur le podcast. Et puis ça va être quelque chose qui va être régulier aussi. Je vous souhaite tous encore une très bonne fin de semaine, une bonne mois de janvier. N'oubliez pas, don't forget, actually, you know what, let me pull it up right now. Hold on. It'll be faster and easier if I do it this way. We will pull up the new album. So open albums. Yeah, open albums in a new. So we'll look here. So this is going to be the new challenge. Oh, sorry, challenge number 20. And we already have a few here who've been added. So Winter Wildlife. Okay, for challenge number 20, the challenge this month is Winter Wildlife. So if you have captured that, oh, sorry, I gotta rewrite that. It should say red-tailed fox, rummaging around for food in your farmer's field behind your house, or the barred owl. I gotta really check my writing that should be always. Oh, it's always perched in the tall evergreen in the far corner of your backyard. By all means, submit them for all of us to admire. You can submit them taken with any medium you like, whether it be digital or film or instant. It doesn't matter. Could be camera phone, however you like. Don't forget, go out, click away, but most of all, enjoy the moments you capture and be present. So I wish you all a wonderful evening. Thank you very much again, and we will see you all very soon. And if you are in if you are in the area, si vous êtes dans le coin du 10-30, s'il vous plaît, n'hésitez pas. Viens me cogner sur mon aquarium au magasin de Gosselin au 10-30. Puis envoie-moi un petit tata si je suis avec quelqu'un. Sinon, rentrez. Viens me dire bonjour. Come and see me. If you guys are in the area at 10-30, please, by all means. If you see me on the street and I'm walking, if I'm shooting whatever, come and see me. Come and say hi. I'm always looking to see anybody who is shooting. So again, bonne soirée, bonne fin de semaine. Click away, and we'll see you guys soon. Thank you all. Just quickly, appréciation, photographie. Okay. Well, sorry guys. À bientôt tous. Ciao.